Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. D-bad, it's backwards. So today I'm bringing you one hell of a, with a V, hell of a, gentleman's carry. Oh, this thing is so nice. This is the Sirius, which is Sirius as shown below, by Artisan Cutlery. Who's Artisan Cutlery, D-bad? They're the guys that bring us things like, my awesome pyrite series that I carry all the time. These are in my regular rotation, and of course the Tigress, which is one of my favorite knives. Literally, that's one of my all-time favorites. They bring us all kinds of stuff. So this guy right here is all kinds of wonderful. Wunderbar. This thing is just cool. I'm trying to get it to come into focus here so you can see the beautiful texturing on this. This is a great knife. So now this is an absolute gentleman's EDC. This is one of those knives, take anywhere, go anywhere, use anywhere, pull out all the time. It's going to be, it's got that thin profile, so it's going to be something that you open maybe boxes and letters with, like, because we all get letters nowadays. But it's just that typical cut whatever you need to cut EDC, right? Oh, I just pulled over because my car is overheating and I need to put a radiator hose on and I need to cut something. Boom, guess what? And then, I got to go to work and I got to cut open a box. Boom, guess what? Oh, we got a knot in a shoelace. Boom, guess. It's just that anytime you need a knife. And it looks beautiful. It's very, very classy. The collar on that just jumps. That copper colored collar is just freaking beautiful. Let's get into the specs on this beautiful PVD coated blade. So we are looking at a blade length of 3.54 inches, a blade thickness of 2.7 millimeters, very stabby. It is black PVD coated. The blade grind is a wonderful full flat. I love it. The blade material, as is the other ones I just showed you, is AR-RPM 9, which so far has done me very well. Very, very well. Let's see. You have a Rockwell between 59-61. It is a gorgeous drop point. The overall length is 8.04, giving you a extremely generous 4.5 inch grip of G10, and your clip material is titanium with ceramic ball bearings and a very nicely done liner lock. It almost looks like a frame lock style, but liner lock, so it's inside the frame. Just a really, whoo, golly, that crack-a-lacka. It is a really, really nice knife. This is a classy knife. I'm like, there's some knives that maybe are too classy for me. It's just really, really nice. They deserve their own spot. Oh man, this thing, I'm just barely, look at this, I'm just barely moving this thing. It is 100% take a nest off the arm, shave sharp, make a bald spot. Wonderful work. This knife is sweet. We can sit in here all day talking about it, or we can just go outside and cut something. Let's go. The Lord said unto us, let there be light. Let there be light. Woo! Man, that is so nice looking. I'm really digging these grooves that run down here because it's only one and it's a place for you to lock a finger. If they did multiple grooves going down, you would lose your ability to really hold on to the knife, because it would be the path of most resistance, not least resistance. You'd have too many lines going this way. What they did is they gave you basically a fuller on the scales. And what it does is, if I'm using my pinch grip, I put my thumb right inside that fuller and I can control the angle of the knife to make fine cuts by just using that little line right there. That's all it takes. Now I could do the same thing there, but then you have the ability to have slippage, where right here it locks you in. It makes your lateral movements really simplified. I think that's a really well done piece. The pocket clip itself, that skinny 80s douchebag tie shape, is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I think that it is a very classy looking clip. I like how they did the top angled to come down with the angle here. It just, I don't know, it's just a really nice looking knife. So let's see. I brought out one of these little Gatorade bottles because they're stiff. It's not like the cheap plastic that you find on like a regular water bottle. So this is nice and hard. So I just want to go through all that. Look at this. Now I'm in that part on the bottom that's actually really hard, and I'm just cutting right through it just by wiggling. Just by wiggling. Look at this. I'm going straight through that. It's just a really, really nice, sharp knife. Super, super well done on the edge profiling here. It is great. It's not good, it's great. And that's one thing I find with Artisan Cutlery. You know, and again, like CJRB is one of their products, and I have a bunch of CJRB knives, and the reason is because they're awesome. And I have to say that as time goes on, and the more and more I get to try out knives from this company, I'm going to say this without a disclaimer. The Artisan Cutlery Group, I have to say they're probably one of my favorite knife companies out there when you're talking about folding knives. I haven't had a bad one. And they haven't sent me anything in a bad design. And I am extremely design picky. These knives aren't just good looking, they're not just made well. I love how the thumb stud fits. They make a notch for the thumb stud, which I think is great. It is single-sided on the thumb stud, but it's reversible, so you can actually switch that if you want. But it does have the top flip, so you don't really need it anyway. It's just something extra for people who maybe can't use a top flip because they don't. I don't know why you wouldn't, but literally, it's got this little jimped area right here, and as soon as you put pressure on that, it opens. So the more pressure you put and the faster you get your hand out of there, the more it's going to crack a lacquer. I mean, it's really that simple. But overall, they do really well with their designs. They're not just good looking, but they're made to function. They're just, and not just is the steel made to function, like is it sharp, is it going to work? The design is made to function. It's very well thought out how they do everything over there. It is quite impressive. I'm a fan. I really, I mean, go to artisancutlery.com. I'll put a link down below. Look through their knives and tell me if there's something that you're looking at and you're going, because their knives just go, man. They're freaking awesome. All right, so a simple push cut on the nylon rope is going to bring us a cut nylon rope. It's just what it is. Now, I want to try a chop. This is not a chopper, and it's so lightweight and so wonderfully weighted for the pocket that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a chop on an extension cord, but we're going to try. Oh, that was pretty good. I want to try again. That got through 2 of them. Let's see. Oh, let's see. That went that went through the whole shebang. I just didn't get through that last little bit of rubber. But that's on a lightweight pocket knife. Come on, man. And what it tells you is just ergonomically, it's well done. It's really thin. It's easy to control. Just a nice knife. Just a really, really nice knife. All right, so since we have that already, let's take this really nice knife for all my electrician friends out there, and let's see if we can't peel some of this. And of course we can. Literally, this knife is just made to go. just made to go right out of the box. It's going to give you everything you need in an EDC to get whatever you need done. I mean, I'm trying to find one thing like I can complain about, because I like to nitpick. I like to, you know, because people rely on videos. They rely on honest videos to tell you if something's good or bad. And if you're not being honest or you're pulling punches, then they're going to buy a knife on your recommendation. It's going to suck. And then they're going to come back and say, dude, you said this was this and it wasn't. Well, so far, this is all of that. You know what I mean? It really is. I'm trying to think of what I could possibly not like about this knife. The little hole for the thumb stud. I was trying to see what it said on there. The little hole for the thumb stud also acts as a notch to reach your liner lock because your liner is flush. So I can't, if they didn't have that little hole, I would say, man, it's really hard to work that because there would be nothing there. But they add that. So they literally, it's like, okay, base covered, right? The hardware is just black, which matches perfectly. It just blends right in. The collars stick out. It's like what should pop, pops. What shouldn't, doesn't. Everything about this is just well done. There's nothing you can find that is really complain worthy when it comes to the overall aesthetics or the operation. Everything about it just works. And I'm pretty excited about that because I love finding things that I can complain about and then explain why, even though I'm complaining, it might not be something worth complaining about, but it's just there. This one doesn't even have anything worth complaining about. Let's see, pull some of this plastic netting out of here. All right, here we go. Now this is the knife killer, the plastic netting. Holy smokes. And going through plastic thread, it really chews on an edge. And some of them can't make a clean cut like this. You'll see a lot of times I come out here with knives and it's either not going through at all, like it'll go like this and it'll just drag, or it'll fray. This one, there was none of that business. None of that business going on. That is just a sharp edge, and they chip a lot when using the plastic netting. There is no chipping on it. Look at that edge. Look at that edge profile. That is really nice. Really, really nice. Let's come over here and we'll do a little bit of feathering and all. Now we're going to get the question like we always do, because there's always one Yahoo that doesn't understand that a long time ago, men, kind of like us, but with bigger foreheads, were killing saber-toothed cats and mammoths with pointy sticks. Yet still, people need to know, hey, can you use it for self-defense? It's sharp and pointy. Yeah, you can use it for self-defense. So, now that that's out of the way, and that guy's question is answered, let's try and get some feathering done. Let's try that. So I want to use my side grip, and I'm just going to come back. Man, look at this feathering. Look at this feathering. These are some beautiful curls. And the reason it's curling and not swooshing is because of the edge geometry. I'm getting really, really beautiful curls, and that is going to be really nice when you're talking about fire making, because it's going to offer a lot of place for the air to go through, and it's going to give you a really, really nice hot burn. But man, that is fantastic. Let's see if we can knock this thing down with just by pushing through it. No little mini chops, nothing like that. Just absolute carving. I mean, just carving this stick. This is flawless. This is really, really nice. A nice thick piece, and I'm just going right through it. Like, I mean, well, you're watching. You can see what's happening here. This thing is just making mincemeat. It's just carving it right up. So if you need to make your pit spikes or your tent spikes or something to hang a hat on, or you're making a shelter, or you're making spears and arrows, and you're making, camp weapons, then I'll tell you what, you want something to make a good point. Even if you want to cook a hot dog or a marshmallow, you need something that can carve. If this is the knife that's on me, this is the knife that I need to work. Is it going to work? Absolutely. Let's do this, even though it's not made for this. Let's see if we can't bring some kindling to life. So if we're gonna have this, and it's the only knife we have, we want to make sure that it's good to get our kindling going, so we can survive on a fire. So we need to know that we can beat on it a little bit. We don't want to hammer on it and kill it, but can we do that? Is there any wiggling, any wobbling? No, this thing is still solid. The lock still opens, still closes, still holds. Ta-da. Oh, it even has a like a nice little lanyard strap right there. Just hiding away right in the back. I didn't even notice that. How cool is that? So I gotta say, this is another one of those winner chicken dinner type knives. And it's Artisan Cutlery. I mean, they just do knives right. That's what they do. They do knives right. I don't know, they just keep finding ways to impress me. Okay, we're going to take a skinny gentleman's knife, and we're just going to make it badass and awesome, and we're going to make it flow. It's just so right. You know what I mean? There's 1,000 ways to do it wrong, and there's one way to do it right. You know, and that's true. That's true. You could screw up anything all kinds of ways, but in order to make it right, there's only one way. They find the way. So that's it. I have another one coming from them. This one's a Sirius, and the next one is just a beautiful clip point. It's just awesome. But this guy right here, golly, this is a nice knife. Yeah, and their prices are always priced right. I mean, they're just always good. You're not getting ripped off. You're not going there and paying $500 for something that the guy next door sells for $50. You know what I mean? So this right here is A-okay. All right, so is it worth it? Have you looked at this online and thought to yourself, ooh, do I want that? Is it any good? Well, if you saw it and you thought that and you wondered, here's the answer. Yeah, it's great. That's it for this one. Hi, I'm Donnie all day. Until next knife.